The students confuse a lot survival and proliferation. Survival is just keep going without dying, and proliferation is cell division. So there are three different kind of signals. There are survival, given by the survival factors, to just continue living. There are proliferation factors, given by the mitogens, and which means divide. And there are growth factors, which induces growth. And it doesn't mean that divide, because growth doesn't mean that increasing the cell number, it means increasing the cell size. Okay? Some cells, they can be very big, like a neuron, for example. Although a neuron is in the G0 phase, it's in terminal differentiation, it should keep going, because in its soma, from its soma, the axon will be very, very long, and it should keep growing. This is why the nerve growth factor will be acting on it for a long time. Okay, these are different signals, but they are not exclusively different in their molecular composition, because each of them is a composition of several molecules, and they sometimes overlap. So let's check the nervous system development. When the nervous system is born in the fetus, it actually has too many neurons. A newborn baby or an unborn fetus, it has too many neurons, because these neurons are growing. They have to make the good connections. If they can make the good connections, they will survive. If they cannot make the good connection, they will die. Okay, and this is the healthy way. So in compared to a baby, you have much less neurons. This is a very healthy thing. This is what makes you more clever than the babies, because you know more things, more information is stored in your brain. They're not always useful information. They are sometimes about the names and lifestyles of the celebrities and the lyrics of some pop songs. But all in all, you have more information. You know how to read and write, you know how to walk and dance. So you have neurons in the brain with the good connections. These good connections are done with these cells, and there is enough space. If these ones didn't die, for example, it would be overcrowded and it would not be enough space for the signaling. Okay, so it's actually a reason for the mental retardation. And the survival factors, they come from outside. They most possibly activate the receptor tyrosine kinase, and they sometimes, well, for the mitogens, for example, they act through RAS. But the survival factors, sometimes they activate the transcription. So not all of them happens at the level of post-translational modification. Some of them happens at the level of transcription. And we know that any regulation at the level of transcription, they go through enhancers in the nucleus. So this enhancer activates the transcription of BCL2 gene. And we know what the BCL2 protein is doing. It is promoting the cell survival. Okay? Without the BCL2, it would suicide. And the cell growth is... for a cell to grow, it has to do synthesis. It should do two things. First, the synthesis should increase and breakdown should decrease. This is also what happens in the G1 phase. If a cell is going to increase the size, or if a cell is it will grow for the G1 phase, it should do synthesis, protein synthesis, lipid synthesis, and a kind of synthesis. And it shouldn't break down in a protein, so the proteasome complex is suppressed, and the protein synthesis increased. It can be increased at the level of transcription, at the level of post-transcription, translation, post-translation. Of course, while the cell is getting bigger, it's going to have more organic molecules, more material. it will not be able to maybe quality control as good as the previous cases. Okay, so it might be a little bit less quality than now. Okay, and a nice example. I love this mutant. This mutant bull. Oh, okay, here it works. It's a myostatin mutant. Okay, something happened to my Apple Pencil. It's not working. This is a myostatin mutant. Normally, myostatin protein inhibits the growth of muscle cells. Okay, so well, this is normal because well, yeah. Check this one on uppercase. This is a normal mouse. Check this one on the lowercase. This is a mutant mouse. It is too musculated. Well, it looks nice, maybe it looks handsome, but not really because it has less chance of survival in the nature. In the nature, it is going to consume too much energy, it is going to be heavier, maybe less flexible, maybe more open to the predators. So having more muscles is not always an advantage. This is why myostatin is suppressing the growth of this tissue. And when the myostatin is mutant, here is what you say: a Hercules.